Good morning, good afternoon. How you all doing? How you doing? I'll be to say that I'm done with this season. I am done with this team. I'm done with this club, this ownership, this circus. It's... Welcome to the therapy session, people. It's certainly a circus. Well, as a content creator, as a beloved Manchester United legacy fan for 50 years, you know how hard it is to stay positive, to get up here, press record, and talk well about your team. I'm trying to provide positivity in everything that I've done so far. I'm the most positive realist that you can find, and that's what you call it, MUFC Realist TV. I might as well just start doing other Premier League content and just use Manchester United as a segment, because that's the way it feels at the moment. We take one step forward and two step back. We take one step forward, two step back. And it certainly feels like a Benny Hill, Monty Python flying circus when you have to pay £5 to argue. Seriously. Well, every season is an explosion. And every season we get giddy and we go, at the end of the day, we go,
oh shit, here we go again.
So, without me even swearing, it's kind of like a hallelujah moment. So every time the Glazers give us a new signing, they divide and conquer. Woohoo! Look the other way, or we keep robbing you. You know, all the match-going fans that's going there, playing expensive money, going up and down the country, away-going fans, match-going fans, you know, they're paying good money. You're the consumers of the game. You're the product. At the end of the day, manager picks the team. Manager knows who will down tool. The blueprint has already been there. Under Mourinho, under Van Gaal, under Ole, under Ragnick. Same players are still there, down tooling. And it comes to the point that Manchester United has become a graveyard shift for everyone to come here to play. Are we red and buried? That's the big question I want to ask you today. Are we red and buried? You know, why would you play certain players that you know already don't have it in your locker? Ten Hag, why are you not lining up your strongest lineup? Why are you jinxing it? Have you lost your confidence as well, or are you just hit by the Manchester United curse as well that we are a graveyard? We are stuck in quicksand, people. Mark Nurse said it so well. We are stuck in quicksand. I was chatting to my good friend Arsenal, Alex Young, my brother from another mother, and said we were in the similar situation what you were 3 years ago, but we got out of that quicksand. But is it ugly to say? Is it so clear and obvious, or is it just me that am blinded? Because for me, there's 5 levels of grief. The number one is denial. We're denying that we are in this stage. After that comes anger because you realize that you got fooled by the Glazers. And then we start bargaining with each other, with the fan base. Who is the better owner? Is Sir Jim Ratcliffe the better one that will give you 25% and do the divide and conquer again, so you will be giddy, so you get a new sporting director, a new CEO? And what about the rest? What about the debt? And then comes realization that this ain't going to happen. This ain't going to solve the problem 100%, that it hits you with the depression, which is number 4. But you know what? If you're accepting 25%, then it comes down to the last point, and that is called acceptance, people. I'm, on the other hand, I'm a very mentally strong person. I'm, on the other hand, always try to see things positive. Always try to press record and tell my fan base and my loyal community that, hey, guys, look at the positivity of yesterday's game. At least we find something positive. But no. For me to come out to say that I'm done with this team, I'm done with this club, I'm done with this manager, I'm done with everything, I'm citing Gary Neville. I'm so tired of this. Season in, season out, not even know what you're going to get. Like Forrest Gump, life is like a box of chocolate. You never know what you're going to get, right? Are you going to get boba shrimp here and there? Or is it just run, Forrest, run? Because that's what I want to do right now. Mental health plays important part of my life. Family plays important part of my life. Manchester United is my family, but it's my extended family. Football is a game. It's my way of escapism, to feel happy, something to look forward to. When we lost against Newcastle, I had this feeling, a notion, that I will never do a rant straight after a game. I will always use my principles in life. Never use fear and emotions to clog my own judgment. So I slept on it. I woke up the next day thinking I would feel a little bit better, but I wasn't. I was feeling the same as I went to sleep. Then a few days later, we played Chelsea. And by the way, in that point of my time, I decided I would put Ten Hag out. And why? Because I'm a club man. As a legacy Manchester United supporter for 50 years, inherited from my grandfather to my father, I learned something from Busby Bay era. I learned something from Sir Alex Ferguson era, is to adhere high standards. And therefore, I will never accept 25% sales. I demand 100%. I demand 100% performance from my team when I'm watching it, and that will never change. Maybe should I accept going through the 5 stages of depression, denial, anger, to accept that we will just play 25% and hopefully we get into top 4? This club is dead. It's red, but it's dead, according to my opinion. Guys, I hope you're doing fantastic well. I just want to play a clip from Erik ten Hag's post-match interview, and let's dissect it together. Big up for all of you that's coming in. Let me know your thoughts and feelings. I have also Eli and Tenno in the background. Peter, that went to the match yesterday, is going to share his emotions while I'm going to bring him to the stage. To the stage right now, let's listen to what Erik ten Hag has to say yesterday.
Disappointed. Definitely, I expected something different.
What did you expect with that lineup, Erik? Why did you change a winning team? Media was saying that Rashford was not going to participate. Rashford came off the bench. Okay, we understood that Lindelof was injured, and fair enough. But why did you put Martial on? Why? Why did you put Amrabat as a single pivot? So basically, we play with one midfielder and 2 undisciplined midfielders, or whatever you call them. They're strikers. I don't know.
I hope before the game you can build on that performance and the result from Chelsea.
But that means shit if you didn't use the same team and if you didn't apply the same logic and reasoning to it, right? That means that you underestimated Bournemouth and thought about Bayern Munich. Yes, I remember in the press conference earlier, the manager's presser, that you said, I might do some rotation because of the game against Bayern Munich. And by the way, Bayern Munich, we have a marginal chance and a little bit of a help from the footballing gods, depending on what Galatasaray does with Copenhagen if it's a draw. And with this team at the moment, with this weak mentality, do you think we're going to win at Old Trafford? If Bournemouth could come to our ground, to our restaurant, to finish everything that we deserved on the table, we're talking about entree, we're talking about the main course, the dessert, the cheese plate and everything, and don't leave any crumbles for us to eat, we will stay hungry. Ten Hag.
So then it's very disappointed with the way we started the game.
Yeah, you started the game. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. Everyone here, according to my opinion, is to blame. I'm not saying Ten Hag out. I'm saying that you are naive, you're stubborn. You know, what happened to Varane? Put Varane back into it. What happened to the treble? That was fake treble. Manager of the month, goal of the month was definitely goal of the month, and Harry Maguire, player of the month. Big up. But these players are the ones that you wanted out in the summer. So who's the hypocrite here?
As a group, we have to improve, and that fact we have to get tougher. That we are ready for the game.
Tougher. When your captain there is running around petulant, when you know that your captain is 1 yellow card away from suspension to play against Anfield, I don't want to sit there and get slaughtered with 7 up again. What did you do? You saw the body language. You saw that the referee was giving yellow cards for petulance, and you kept him on in 3-0. I would have subbed him off.
And from the start. So I said it on Friday. You can't, in this league, it can't be that you are not playing on the highest levels because you get killed.
And you got slaughtered. You said it yourself on Friday, and I was sitting there covering it. You will get killed. Knowing all this after your interview, you went in still lined up for us to get slaughtered and eaten alive by almost 4-0. This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing because basically you're outing yourself here, mate. You knew this already. Why did you line up that lineup? Tony Marshall should have been sold 3 years ago, mate.
And that is what happened in the first 5 minutes. And then you following facts.
Yeah. And what do you do as a manager? You see that clearly. Am I needing goggles here? Like, do you need glasses? You see that something is wrong. You see that something is wrong in the first 5, 10, 15 minutes. In-game management 10 minutes 10. Do something. Or is somebody whispering in your ear saying you cannot do it? Or is that you're just showing that you're not the manager that we thought you were? The manager that said, I'm not here to play the Ajax way. I'm here to play the Manchester United way. Excuse me. That was Sir Alex Ferguson football, Bosby Bay football. We haven't played that since the 90s, right? Late 90s, early 20s. Yeah. That is something that you need to sort of dust up from the cabinet. We're here because we want to see your football. And so far, we haven't seen anything. What is your style of play? You keep jinxing, changing. I know there's an excuse. I know we had injuries, and I know we haven't started the best 11 as of yet. But now look at your bench, what you had yesterday, and why you keep playing these players. Same players will get you sacked, my friend. I hope you're watching, because I'm certainly not going to give my energy more to you. In collective, I'm like Gary Neville. I'm tired. I'm certainly tired. And this is just my opinion, right? I love my club. Don't get me wrong. I've never been a player FC. I'm a club FC. I die hard Patriot Red. Please, if you can find somebody that's more Patriot Red than me, let me know, because I certainly want to have a discussion with that person as well.
And especially against them, such a good transition team, you make life easy for them. They have the perfect.
Yeah, by playing Amrabat in the single midfield and leaving 2 headless chickens running around doing nothing. One is about to win the Hollywood Oscar for the best Hollywood passes ever. It's called Bruno Fernandes. They got yourself a yellow card and not going to be playing for Liverpool. And the other one is, I don't know, he's so good in playing hide and seek. He's the kid that you would like to pick when you were a kid, like, playing hide and seek, because he was so good at hiding. Or, replace Ronald McDonald in McDonald's for Maxas.
Conditions to play in. And then you see the team fighting, battling, put a lot of effort in for a long period to return in a game. But it can't happen that you so easily concede a goal.
No, and I agree with that. It can't happen that you so easily concede a goal, but it happened. Big up to Harry Maguire, by the way. Big up to Harry Maguire that put a yard in. He was there, but Harry Maguire was also in fault for the 3rd goal. What a mess, guys. Absolutely a mess. And I feel for you. And I will get to your comment section below, but everyone has a story to tell. And another story is a good friend of ours that I send my condolences to. He's a legend of the fan base. He's here on the channel, and he was crying out yesterday, and he said it like it is. I want to play this clip because this means a lot to me. Andy Tate.
The floor is yours, man. Just sum up how you feel after that performance and that result.
Well, this is a relationship of inconvenience, and the divorce papers and the counselling has not worked, and I am actually done with this team, and I'm almost at the end, and I am done with this manager.
So, I spoke to Andy after on WhatsApp as well, and I said, Andy, I feel your pain. Exactly. The divorce papers is there. It's been there on the table. You invest week in and week out on this team. It's like your family. It's your love. But family comes first here.
And this will go viral. I understand it. But I am not giving any swear words in this. This is it. This team has to be dismantled. And only a few will survive. And I know this club will try and spin everything in the next couple of hours, next 72 hours, 24, 72, 48 hours.
And that is so spot on. The club, as we know it, will now try to, deflect it. It's called divide and conquer. They will start feeding you with positivities for you to forget. They're going to start spinning the Ratcliffe is going to happen on Monday. He's going to start on Monday, and he's going to bring Sir Jim Brailsford, and he's going to bring the whole circus, That's the gravy train, unfortunately. Big up, Andy.
Whatever the time frame they want, and try and push this Jim Ratcliffe, Ineos through as fast as they can.
Exactly.
You take us for granted. You take us for everything. You take our money. And little message for Bruno Fernandes at the end. You clocked me in a Stretford end in a blue jacket, you and Highland, and you seen my hand signals to you. And I meant every last word of it.
And I believe so.
I am done with you lot. Absolutely done. And I'm at the point with the manager as well now. Almost there. Even though it may go viral, even though it might not be the right answer, but this is a marriage that is destroyed.
And that is exactly what I feel. Same as Andy, my friend. We are red and buried. Is there any way forward? That's the big question.
Can you see Erik ten Hag turning this around with these players?
No, I don't see any way forward. I told you Wednesday can be a flash in the pan.
Yeah, you did.
I was nearly crying at the stadium. I'll be honest. You know what? It's my birthday week next week. Family means everything to me. My mum's not 100%. Here anymore.
Yeah. And
this team's all I got, and the rest of my family. As far as I'm concerned, this team is not part of my family. And I'm shaking here. I'm emotional, and I just don't know what to say anymore. People, like say, our rivals will mock me and rip me to piss tonight. You can do what you want. I've seen it. I've done it. Wore a T-shirt over 10 years with social media. Like I say, socials will have a field day with United tomorrow. Well, tonight they're actually doing it now on the way back in the car.
I feel your pain. I wasn't there today. My little girl went. You've just been chatting to her. It was funny enough, is it?
Andy, there's no point for me to speak here, because what you're saying here right now is exactly a carbon copy about my feelings as well. Let's continue, because this is worth listening to.
Birthday this weekend as well, and it's not exactly the birthday present you both wanted or deserved.
No.
That performance. You said about it on Wednesday. Yeah, you said about flashing the pan. You said, we've got another game coming up. Against.
And this is the point what I want to raise as well, right? This is the point what I want to raise, because I was actually fooled, a flash in the pan. After that horrible result against Newcastle, and then we played at home against Chelsea, and we saw, wow, this team can play football. We were over bigging it up. It was, so I lowered down my guard again. And then Bournemouth to come here and almost have a field day. They basically come and robbed our house and took they even sat down and have a cup of tea and scones and biscuits, and, almost took the dog with them with almost a 4-0. That's embarrassing.
Bournemouth, another big game. What do you think it is with this team? Because on Wednesday you get a result against Chelsea, who they're not a great Chelsea team. 10th in the league though. They've beaten, they've got some results. They drew with City not long ago. You get that result, and then what is it? 3 days later, you put that performance in. What do you think it is? Why do you think this team is so inconsistent, going from a positive result and a good result to one of the worst performances we've seen in recent memory?
Arrogance.
Yeah.
Egos.
Yep.
Team selection.
Team selection.
No Ireland. When you played a blinder on Wednesday and you give it Marshall again.
True.
Seriously. Like I said, he's a weather balloon. He just hovers, doesn't give anything.
Yeah.
Toothless up front. Like you say, the warnings were there within the first, 20 seconds. And they almost had a pen.
True.
And then within 2 minutes later, they score. Bruno give the ball away. And, wow, this is rock bottom. I really can't describe any other words for the performance, Jay.
Yeah.
Because, like you say, a well-run, well-worked team came to Old Trafford today and embarrassed us.
And that's what I said. They came to our restaurant. We invited them. And we had expectations that we're going to slaughter them, yeah? That's what we said. It was the vice versa round, you know. They gave us a spanking, and they haven't won at Old Trafford for decades and decades and decades, right? If you look up some stats, they must be going home thinking, wow, you know, it's like they just won the Premier League. Jesus Christ. We had fans like Peter sitting in the background that was to the game. The rain was pissing down and was cold. They're die-hardcore fans, and these guys sitting there on the pitch just showing you the biggin. But they're still going to get paid next week, 350k a week or 200k a week, and they continue.
Just like Brentford. Brighton 4-0, I think, away as well.
Yeah.
Liverpool 7-0. Oh, and next week, I'm not going to give you the satisfaction because I won't be watching you. I want to spend time with my family and get my Christmas sorted and spend time with my missus and all that and the rest of my family. So you can jog on next Sunday. And no wonder Gary Neville says we're all tired of you. Seriously, tired of giving excuses.
How worried are you, Andy, looking ahead of this week? We've got Bayern Munich. Yeah, I know they got battered today, but let's have it right. Bayern Munich are one of the best teams in Europe.
Yeah, Bayern.
And by the way,
of inconvenience.
And by the way, Bayern Munich. That's kind of the only reason why I can see this. The only logic that I can find why he lined up the way he is, because he thought about we're gonna, have to beat Bayern Munich on Tuesday, with a marginal chance that we are actually going through in the Champions. We don't belong in the Champions League, people. One thing is to qualify in Champions League, but how are you going to compete, right? How are you going to compete? And even if we, some miraculous way, like in '99, what happened, we were in a similar situation. Do qualify through, and that we have to thank, Galatasaray and Besiktas for it. But what about then? What about the continuously, right?
Serious about this week. What's to come for this club and this team? Well, what do you expect? Not how worried are you? What do you expect?
I expect God to go out of Europe.
Yep.
And I expect zero performance. And I expect another week of grief.
Yep.
And I expect lackluster performance on Tuesday, day before my birthday. Yeah, I was born Friday the 13th, mate.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
so was I.
Yeah, chainsaw hockey mask. If I went in the dressing room like Jason, believe me, there'd be nothing left.
Yeah, been nothing left. Been nothing left. And there's a common denominator between me and Andy Tate. I was also born on Friday the 13th. There you go. I didn't know about that then. But anyway. So, having to say that all negative stuff, having to all put it out on the table, like, because we have to do this, the aftermath. Like, I have, a rule in life. Always start with the negatives, dust it out, like get it out of your system, and then look at the positives. Where do we go from here? Big questions. I have big panel here in the background, but I want to start with this. This is the only way forward, people. This person called Messiah was absolutely right.
Thing about what happened, one of the very few good things is that it's crystal clear. It's not that difficult. You don't even need glasses to analyze and to see where the problems are. So now it's only about how do we solve them. And for me, it's clear. It's not enough to do some little minor amendments, some little issues here and there, some minor cosmetic things. No, this is, in medicine you would see this is an operation at the open heart. So there are more things to be changed than some little things here and some minor things there.
Exactly. This is called the open heart surgery. This is the way the club will need. I don't see any other solution, people. I don't see any other solution. Barring everything that we've seen here for the past 11 years since Sir Alex Ferguson left, we swapped and changed managers after managers. We sacked them. We recruited the wrong people. We had horrible ownership, and we had more than less horrible operations where we had no footballing brains sitting there, right? No wonder we're stuck in quicksand. And no wonder that teams around us in Premier League are surpassing us. Aston Villa, wow. Who would have thought? I believe that Aston Villa is going to do a 2016 here. Nobody expects Leicester to win the league. They've been sitting there, no expectations, just creeping down up from the middle of nowhere. They have a great manager, Unai Emery, and you don't need a 1 to 2 years to do an open heart surgery, but Ragnick was saying. You don't need glasses to see where the problem is. You can shout Ten Hag out. You can shout Glazers out. But this club, according to my opinion, the only way we can be a football club again is a total rebuild. From pillar to post. From the ownership down to the dressing room.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching MUFC Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.